one. All right. All right, we are live, Facebook Live. Hi, Facebook friends. And we're here with the Gallatin Valley Eagles. We're talking with Anthony Covert, who is you're the
vice president.
Vice president, okay.
Destry couldn't be.
I didn't want to give you the wrong title there.
No, that's fine. I just became that about a month ago. I was voted in.
Okay, yeah. Well, you guys have been in before, and we had such a good time with you. We thought we'd bring you back because you have your own runway and everything. You make the model planes and things like that.
Yeah, we have a runway out east off of Kelly Canyon Road. It's land. It's not actually donated. It's on borrow from MSU. As long as we maintain it and we don't have any issues out there, which we haven't. We have that, and it was repaved. High Country Paving came out last summer and donated about $15,000 worth of pavement. So we've got a brand new runway, markings and everything. It's really cool. Well,
when we were talking at the airport the other day, you called in and said all the drone people, because the airport's a little nervous about drones flying around near the airport. So
we want to let people know there's an approved site out there to fly in. It's safe. It's outside of the 5-mile donut that the FAA would like people to
stay out of.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I told you before, I actually found an airplane right across the street from the airport. So somebody had been flying it and it went down, so it was in the vicinity of the airport. And you know, you can't really stress enough how dangerous that is, you know, with aircraft. I mean, you can see what happens with geese.
Oh yeah, when they hit birds or things like that. Oh yeah, it's not a good thing.
Yeah, you can bring a plane down with a small plastic aircraft.
Yeah.
You know, we just don't want that to happen. And it's open to everybody. If somebody would like to come out and see what we're about, we're not going to charge you right away, but we do have an annual membership. It's $42 for the year.
Wow.
And we do require an AMA membership, which is a little more, and I brought that, the numbers here. The AMA is $75 a year, but that also covers you for insurance, damages, you know, you whack your finger off, stuff like that, you're covered.
Okay. Well, that's good.
18 and over are free, and 65 and over, it's for $65 a year. And then they also have a park pilot program that's cheaper. It's $38 if you're not going to fly anything over 2 pounds or powered by gas or over 60 miles an hour.
All right.
So if you just want to fly a foam airplane and come out and have a good time, you can join the AMA for $38.
Can do that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to take a short break and we're going to meet your friend you brought in with you.
Okay.
All right. So we'll be right back right after this. All right.
Cool.
So yeah, we're doing all right. Looks like so. Yeah.
I get butterflies when I come in here.
That's all right. I've still got your catalog you gave me.
I was going to ask you if you picked out your first plane yet.
Picked out my plane. Yeah, right. I don't even like being this tall.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Yeah.
It really is fun.
Yeah,
Kids love it too.
Yeah.
We've got a guy coming out in the spring here, pretty soon actually. He says as soon as the weather clears up, he's going to come out and rebuild our spectator area. We've got kind of a log and recycled wood. I don't even know what to call it. It's just basically a roof, but it's in pretty rough shape. And we've got a contractor who just joined the club actually. He's one of my general contractors I work for, and when he heard I was into planes, I brought some to the job and we flew him out by the Yellowstone River and he was hooked. So
all right.
He's already got 3 airplanes.
I was going to say,
he's going to rebuild our...
I would think it would be addictive.
It is. It really is fun.
Once you get doing it and figure out the controls and get it off the ground and you know, a few crashes and then you're ready to...
Definitely. And there's so many different aspects to it. I mean, you can buy a plane in a box, put the wing on it and go flying, or you can spend a year building one from scratch if you want, you know.
All right. We're coming back here in 5 seconds, so hang on. All right, 13 minutes after the hour, we're talking with Anthony Covert, who is the vice president of the Gallatin Eagles, and we got the model airplanes and everything. And we were talking about the qualifications and things you need to do if we want to join you folks. And let's suppose somebody is a complete novice at this, but would like to get into it. I'm assuming you guys will sit down and say, look, here's an entry point. Here's the cost, so that you don't crash the thing the first time.
Yeah. Well,
those kinds of things.
Tom, starting in May, we have flying lessons on Tuesday evenings from 5 till dark. And we have club planes, so people that are interested don't even have to invest money right away if they're not sure if they're going to enjoy it. Mm-hmm. You can come out. We have what's called a buddy cord. So you hold a radio, the trained pilot, the instructor will hold another radio, and it's tethered. So that if you get into trouble, he can take over.
Oh, that's nice.
And you learn how to fly that way, and we'll fly all the way through summer, starting in May, from 5 till dark on Tuesday nights. We also do, during the winter, over at the Journey Church, or the Commons Church, over off of Love, excuse me, we do indoor flies once a month too. So guys bring their little airplanes or their little quads, and we can fly inside the big auditorium that they have there too. So we stay active in the winter time. A lot of guys call that building time. Where they'd like to build airplanes instead of fly. Yeah. But you can. There are planes out there, literally around $100 that you can get with a radio and everything. They're not the top of the line, of course. You can spend as much money as you want. You can spend thousands of dollars on these things. Yeah. But if you just want to peter around and fly around, you can get in it pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's kind of like kites, huh?
Pretty much. Even those kites are getting expensive.
I was going to say, you get a really expensive kite. Well, we were talking about earlier, you could buy a plane in a box, all ready to go, but you can also build your own, and that's what you did, and you brought Icarus.
I did.
With us.
Yeah, he's built out of some recycled material. I bought a few things. The foam head came from Michael's. My daughter and I were in there, and I saw the foam head, and it's something I've always wanted to do, and I finally just broke down and did it. It probably took me about a week of evenings and putting them together, recycled. Wing from, we have a shed over there. I think I told you, guys abandon projects, or, we get phone calls sometimes from guys that have passed on.
Sure.
And their wives don't know what to do with the stuff, so they donate it to the club, and we end up with a shed full of parts and broken pieces and this and that. So
they kind of put it all together. You got the beanie for the
yeah, he's got a beanie hat. That's where his motor's in his head, and actually the cap of his head comes off, and you can see inside of his skull there.
Oh, all right.
If you want.
And you got the recycle wing and all of that from job sites, I guess, that you worked on.
Yeah, the foam. The chest came from a job site. Foam. The legs are we call them combat wings. They're foam wings that are cut out, and the guys fly combat with them. And we just had a whole bunch. We had a big party one night, and they cut out a bunch of wing cores, and not too many guys are into the combat. Yeah. So we ended up with a lot of extra wings. I used those for the legs. And
well, I can see right now we're gonna have to replace the Metallica shirt with a KMMS shirt down
on
the floor.
Do that, Tom.
So I'll fix you up with a KMMS shirt so you can just put that on there.
I would. I definitely would.
Check that out. So
that'd be great. It was just, it was an old T-shirt with a bunch of holes in it. And I didn't want to cut up one of my good ones.
Well, you cut up one of our good ones and put it on there. All right, we got to take one more quick 90-second break. We'll be right back. We're talking with Anthony Covert, the Vice President of the Gallatin Eagles, and Icarus, our friend here, the flying man. You don't want him to fly too close to the sun now. Come on.
No, that's right.
Yeah, so keep him at right altitude. All right, we'll be back with more right after this.
One thing I didn't think of when I put that chrome covering on him was the reflection, and you don't really get it unless you hit the perfect angle. And boy, it's like staring right at the sun. I think you can actually see that on the video. Or maybe you can plug that link for the video for people that.
Okay, is that on your website?
It's on YouTube.
Oh, okay. You got it on YouTube?
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know if you're able to post that anywhere else or.
Yeah, well, we can certainly link to it because we want to put this on Facebook or on YouTube and Facebook both.
Right. I think the title is just Icarus Flies, and you'll be amazed what comes up when you put Icarus Flies. There's a lot of mythology stuff, but it's easy to see on the screen. It's just a blue sky. Okay. It's pretty much what you'll find out on the page there.
Well, good.
It sounds like your sister Laura's watching.
Oh, good. Love my sister. Hi, Laura. She works in Billings.
Yeah. Well, we're happy. We're doing more and more Facebook stuff all the time. So
Nice.
hi to all the Facebook folks out there. We're happy that you could join us today.
Very cool.
And we're getting down to about 20 seconds here, and so we'll have about 7 or 8 minutes left. So
Did we talk about the events yet?
sure, yeah, let's do the
Okay.
events because we want to do that next. So all right, so we'll saddle up and get going here. All right, 19 minutes after the hour. Welcome back, everybody. Tom Egelhoff, your morning mayor, and we're talking with Anthony Covert, who is the vice president of the Gallatin Eagles, and they are a model airplane, aircraft, whatever, flying.
Model aeronautics.
Barrel, okay, good. I like
Covers
that.
everything.
That covers it all. Well, you got some events coming up that we need to inform people about. So what's going on?
We do. We've got a bank window display at the Security Bank downtown. That'll be April 3rd through the 10th. So if you're down there walking around and you see our display, stop, take a second, and look at some of our planes. Then we've got a mall show coming up, and it's still a ways out, but we want to get the word out and people free up some time. April 29th, we'll be at the mall. Usually we're on the west side of the mall at the end. We have usually they give us the entryway there, and we set up, and we'll bring 20 or 30 airplanes. And last year we had a 3D printer display. One of our guys, Alan, has a 3D printer, and we usually have a simulator set up, so if somebody wants to take the sticks and fly, they can. And then coming up in May, we start our training, of course, Tuesday nights from 5 to dark. And on the 20th, in honor of Armed Forces Day, we're going to make it a Armed Forces themed fun fly. Spectators are welcome. We'll have a barbecue, drinks. We'll have a newly, hopefully by the time we're ready, we'll have a newly designed, installed, covered deck, I would call it, I guess. Butch Keys and Crazy Mountain Construction is going to donate that. Before I forget, we don't like to plug and we don't ask for a lot of donations, but if anybody would like to donate, we are a nonprofit club, and any donations go to maintaining the field, buying planes to teach other people and stuff like that. His name is Chuck Curtis, is our treasurer. His number is 539-7863, and if you make a donation, he can give you our tax number, and you can deduct that off your taxes. It won't be till next year, but
Yeah, I would think this would be an ideal thing for handicapped kids, if they're in wheelchairs or things
Sure.
like that, to do this kind of activity. People with various disabilities would be welcome out there.
everybody's welcome, Tom.
Sure.
I mean, and it's funny. I mean, people ask me what kind of guys fly. You know, we're kind of grouped into. We're kind of nerds. I'll admit it. I'm a drywall contractor. We've got a pharmacist. We got a couple retired guys. We got general contractors. Destry's a body guy over in Livingston. So I mean, we come from all walks of life, and most of us have grown up with this in our childhood, but haven't been able to have the time or the resources to do anything until you get a little bit older. You know?
We used to have the planes that were lined up with the rubber band.
They still do that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, if you look up the Academy of Model Aeronautics, which is the AMA, they're a community-based organization. There are so many facets of this hobby. There's free flight, where you just throw it and see how long it'll
how
fly.
long it goes.
There's rubber band powered. The guys still do the control line, where they spin in a circle, and they do combat with that.
Oh, yeah.
They have combat meets all over the state. So, I mean, there is a lot of support. You know, from Billings has a field, Great Falls has a field, Helena has a field.
Yeah.
And,
They do the things like barrel racing too, don't they? Where
Yeah,
you
it's called
fly,
pylon
where
racing.
You fly, yeah, you do.
I'm
pylon
gonna
racing.
try that this year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Destry
All
and I both are. We got conned into it by the guys up in Helena. We bought pylon racers, and we're hopeful. I'm not real confident, you know, but it's pretty cool because my problem was the depth perception. I didn't know when I was going to be able to turn, but they have spotters that will flash a light when you're clear, and now they're working on a transponder system, so you don't have to rely on somebody else. The light will turn on as soon as you pass the
So it's just a sensor
pylon.
thing that lets you know you got the pylon. Okay. Yeah.
And these guys are really invested in it, and it's a pretty big investment, you know, that type of system. So they love doing it.
What if you want to really get serious and get into jets?
Well, you need a longer runway than what we've got. There's a form of jet called a ducted fan, and it runs electric. Believe it or not, like a giant hair dryer. and they don't require the waiver that a turbine would. Now, when you're talking turbine, you're talking jet fuel or
Right.
diesel fuel,
Yeah.
and it's a whole different can of worms. I think you could probably do that up in Billings, but it does require a waiver, and you have to get certified to run one of those.
Yeah.
And they do, they boogie. So you want to be an experienced pilot before you jump into that.
What about helicopters?
You know, they were popular for a while. Quads have kind of they've shadowed everything. I mean, there's some.
The drones,
Yes, sir. Yeah, the quads. Yeah, they go all the way from tri, which is a tricopter, quadcopter, octocopter. I mean, they've got them. Did you see they're flying them in Dubai? The ones that haul people around.
Yeah.
So I mean, that is kind of the future. It's just
Amazon
sad.
wants to use them to deliver stuff.
Yeah, they do. They do. I mean, the sad part is they've kind of stolen the spotlight, as you know, and there's a lot of manufacturers that are actually slowing down production on airplanes because the quads have. And I think it'll slow down after a while. People will, you know, realize that the planes are just as fun, and we still have a good time with them. But they're a different breed. A lot of the younger guys are getting into the quads. I mean, they do quad racing. You've seen the first-person view where they put the goggles on, and the camera's attached.
Yeah.
That's really taken off, and we've got guys at the fields that do that. We haven't organized a big race. Alan, the guy that does the 3D printing, he's into the quads quite a bit. And if anybody's interested in the first-person racing, you know, with the goggles, he'd be the guy to talk to and get you started in that.
Yeah. Are you at the point with the 3D printer where you can print your own parts if something breaks or something like
There was
that?
just an article in the News magazine of a printed plane. So I don't think it printed the plane as a whole, but it probably printed all the parts that it took to build the plane.
Yeah, put it all together.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting what's coming out. The lithium batteries, you know, people probably have their memories of a kid of having some plane that was underpowered, you know, with the electric and was really heavy. The lithium batteries and the brushless motors have taken the planes, you know, into the next stratosphere, I guess you could say. Yeah, they're light, they're fast. You know, you can easily have a plane that's over 2-to-1 thrust ratio, so you can unlimited vertical, you know. And then you've got some that'll fly at a walking pace. You know, anybody that is interested in it, don't be discouraged that, you know, might not have the skills. And with simulators, you can buy a simulator for a couple $100. I mean, state-of-the-art stuff. You know, Tower Hobbies has them they're called Real Flight. Comes with a radio, and you can fly and crash $1 million worth of planes on your computer, and it doesn't cost you a dime.
You get the feel for it.
You get the feel for it. Yeah, I mean, it really does.
So like
especially
video games, I would think if you're good at video games, you're probably good at flying.
Yeah,
these things.
the hand-eye coordination definitely helps with that. The only thing people seem to struggle with sometimes is orientation.
Yeah.
Because once when it's headed away from you, left is left and right is right. When it's coming at you, it's the opposite.
It's the opposite. You're
so
right.
there's this little trigger that goes off in your mind, and eventually guys get it. And helicopters, or even when you mentioned helicopters are even twice as tricky because when you're hovered out,
you got four.
Right.
You got four.
Right.
Four
well, then you've got your
dimensions.
cyclic control on your left
Up and
stick with
down,
the throttle.
yeah.
Right. And when it hovers left, everything is 180 degrees. When it hovers nose in, boy, a lot of people, that's where I crash.
Right.
You know, I fly this on the simulator all the time, and I can left hover, right hover. I bring it in, looking at me, and there goes a $1,000
There it
helicopter.
goes.
Yeah. So. No, I don't. I enjoy the airplanes, and we get together. I started doing a build night. Guys come over to my shop. I got a huge shop, and we sit around and we'll help guys that have projects. We just had a newest member. I can't remember his name, but anyway, he's I think he's 15, and he really reminds me of myself when I was that age, and he just needs a little help. So he brought his planes over, and we got a couple of them fixed up Thursday night for him, and he's looking forward to starting to fly too. And it's a good group of guys. It really is.
Flying again, yeah. We're running out of time, but let's review how to get a hold of you for anybody that wants to get more information.
Okay, you can always check out GallatinEagles.org, which is our website. We're also on Facebook, Gallatin Eagles. You'll find us.
Yeah.
You could call if you want to donate to Chuck or the AMA, or not, I'm sorry. You caught me off guard, Tom.
To you guys.
Chuck Curtis, our treasurer, 539-7863 if you'd like to make a tax-deductible donation. You can also contact me. I have contact information. You can call me 548-4507 is my number. I'm more than happy to talk to somebody. I might not answer after work, but I return phone calls.
Sure. Okay.
So that's it.
And we got a couple events coming up. Let's review those as well.
We got the Bank Window Show, April 3rd through the 10th downtown at Security Bank. We've got the Gallatin Mall Show on the 29th of April, and then May 20th We've got our fun fly. It'll probably go from about 10 or 9 o'clock to about 4. And there'll be barbecue. We usually have a raffle, so you can spend a couple bucks and win a free plane.
There
So
you
it
go.
might get you a way to
Whoa,
get started.
All right.
So
we'll head down there and get that done then.
yeah, it'll be a good time.
All right. Sounds good. We should probably get one more shot of Icarus,
Yeah.
your friend that you brought in. For those of you who are just joining us on Facebook, this is Icarus, a homemade flying man that Anthony put together with some recycled parts and everything. We are going to get a KMMS T-shirt for this for Icarus. So there's
Just for reference, the people might be a little confused at the wing position there. That's just a stand. So the wing actually straps to his back.
Yeah.
And he flies. People might be thinking, how's he fly?
Yeah, it looks like a surfer.
That's just a stand so he doesn't get
all
hurt.
right. Well, Anthony, thanks a lot. Great having you on. Thanks for all the great info. We hope people will take up flying as this kind of a sport and go out and watch Icarus fly around a little bit. And we
At least come out and watch.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we appreciate you coming in.
People like to fly, like to watch.
All right, GallatinEagles.org. GallatinEagles.org. Check it out. And we'll be back with more right after this.
All right, we have a question for Facebook Live before we sign off, Anthony.
All
Russ
right.
Baker wants to know what the largest vehicle you've ever flown is.
The largest vehicle is actually a full-size plane. Is that because I'm a student pilot? I fly full scale, but RC planes. The largest one I have, I'll be flying this summer. I've been building. It's got a 96-inch wingspan. So what is that?
8 feet.
8 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
About a fifth scale. It weighs about 15 pounds. It's a monocoupe, if you want to Google that.
All right. Well, thank you guys for signing off.